Hello everybody, welcome back to Bear Creek's Adventures in Beekeeping. My name is Kevin McMahon. We got another little adventure today, but before we get started I just wanted to do a little update. Today I was out at the farm and I did a video on the if you watched episode 38, which I installed two 5/5 nukes into a double nuke box 4/4, and then I took the split and brought it back here. I took a frame of brood from each one and I brought them back here for a couple of splits over here. Had a couple comments from people that kind of thought maybe I was doing it wrong, or that it's hard to jam 5/5 into a 4/4, and in reality, so today, I went over there just to do an update. Are they too jam-packed? Is it ready to swarm? Are they up in the supers? And I'll be honest with you, I scrapped the video because there was really nothing to show. I did the whole video and I did an inspection on the hive, and they were, business as normal inside the hive, with the exception that the bees weren't up in the supers yet. They had just started building out some empty frames, and she was laying in them there. Be honest with you, there was a full empty frame down in the bottom of empty comb. No idea why, but the one next to it was full of eggs, brand new eggs. So she's laying, so she's doing fine there. You'll have to forgive me on this video. It got really windy all of a sudden. It was windy all day. It calmed down, and then the wind decided to kick up right when I decided to do this video. Then of course neighbors started to do their pick up their lawnmowers at the exact same time, and it's Monday, so can you tell? So I'll try to speak up a little bit so you can hear me over the wind and lawnmowers and God only knows what else. Kids screaming, people honking, and all the neighbors can watch me talk to a camera. But there was nothing to see as far as the 4/4 nuke went. They weren't swarming. I checked, I pulled up every frame to look. It was business as usual. I was just surprised that they weren't up in the supers yet. A couple of my other hives in the same apiary, the 10/10s, where I put, well, actually I shook them down to just 10 frame, and then I put supers, honey supers on. The bees are in the supers on those hives. There's not a ton of honey in there yet, but I just wanted them a place where they can expand into. And I'm assuming that this double 4/4 is going to be the same way. When they feel the need and they're bringing in enough nectar, they're going to go up into the supers. But for right now, they're not swarming. They're not in danger of swarming, so things are good. So I just wanted to give a little update and put a few people's mind at ease as far as that's concerned. My little 2-frame nukes over there are doing really well. There's no complaints. I've checked them all. They're sucking down. What's surprising is they're sucking down syrup at an astonishing rate, like a pint in a day and a half, roughly. I'm filling those jars up every day. The 5/5s or just the 5 frames nukes are pulling a pint a day, and it's just no. I mean, I filled it up last evening, and they were done by this afternoon. I see that they're almost empty right now, so I got to go fill them up again. So they're doing really well. Not quite ready to split, but I'm not going to split those anymore. Those are going to go into the 4-frame nukes over at the farm, and I've got those double nukes. I've got 3 more double nukes to make up. But this was just right behind me here. This was a hive on the 1st of June. Today's the 11th of June. On the 1st of June I did a split, and I got some bad comments on it. People thought I was a little crazy and I didn't know what I was doing, but this one right here was the weak hive, but it had the queen, and it was in the original position. and then that one over there was a split, and I gave it a frame from another thing, and it's got queen cells in it. And then another split over there, they're doing great. Well, this one here with the queen, I had 2 boxes on it, and it's almost at the point where I could split it out very, very nicely. So today that's what I did. And the only reason I did it, it wasn't in any danger of swarming at all, but what it was the hive over there has 3 or 4 queen cells on it, and they're all carniolans. And instead of destroying a queen cell, I want to steal a queen cell and put it in the nuke. Now what I did today was, that's the original position right there, and it had the queen. So I took the top box and I started sliding the frames in, and as it turns out, the queen was in the top box. So I just slid all the frames for the top in here, shook a couple more frames of brood in here, and all the foragers are coming back to the original hive. And this is where the queen is right now. So that was a really, really easy move. And it doesn't look like anybody's leaving, because I'm gonna guess, you can tell the bees are in there pretty heavy feeding, so no problems there. Let's get this set back up again. So anyways, what we're gonna do, and here is today's dilemma. I use plastic foundation for my frames, and in order, you can't exactly cut out a queen cell in plastic foundation, and I was trying to think of ways to do it, and I tried the X-Acto knife in there, and the plastic is just too thick, and I'd probably slice my finger off. I'd have to press so hard into there to get to cut, and I just couldn't get it cut. However, I came up with an idea right here. The Dremel tool. I'm going to use this is a drywall bit that's used to cut drywall, and I'm going to use it to cut the plastic. Now I did a little test cut in a frame, just to see, in a foundation, just to see if I could do it. And the first one, it didn't turn out, because I tried to use it on low RPMs and tried to cut it thinking that would be better, but I turned it all the way up, and it made that hole nice and easy with very little vibration. And I'm hoping, praying, crossing my hands that this will work. Now here's the other issue: is I did this split, and even if this doesn't work, that nuke has enough eggs and larvae that can create its own queen, just like a walkaway. But I think we're right at that threshold where that queen might, today's the 11th, I think we're at day like 14 with it, so that should be perfect. But I hope a queen didn't hatch out early, a virgin, and kill all the other cells, because if that happens, then I'm a little screwed. Not totally screwed, but I'm a little screwed. So we're gonna go into that hive, take that frame out. I gotta smoke the bees off the frame, can't shake it, and then I'm gonna brush the rest of the bees off, and then we're gonna do a little operation. So be right back. So I got to give them some more patty tonight. Okay. Makes it easy, there's no queen. That was the frame, I thought. Oh no, this is the frame. Here it is. Okay. Phew! Had me worried there for a second. So we've got several, as you can tell, we got several queen cells to choose from. Right there. And then there's several on this side, and I think I'm gonna go for the one down in the bottom there. That seems to be the well, oh boy, that might be a tough one actually, because I can't get the Dremel underneath that frame. So we might have to choose one of these. There's actually more queen cells than I left with before. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna try to smoke these bees off this frame. So here's what we got. We've got our choice of 2 queen cells down in the bottom here, or one here, one there, or we've got some nice queen cells right there, there, or there. And I think I'm gonna go for this one right there at the top. So I hope you can see this, see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Now that's a pretty big cutout there. But it will do, I think. If you can see that. Obviously I got a lot of little brood in there and whatnot, so let's hope you know, hope it works out for me. Disturb them again. biggest trick is going to be figuring out how to lay this in there. They've been queenless now for about 4 hours, so they should know that they're queenless, just in case you were wondering. Okay, now since this frame is empty for now, I'm going to leave it out because there's just no room for it in there. I guess we'll just see how it goes. So if you think I'm nuts, I've never seen anybody do this before, you can leave it in the comments. Let me know if you think this is gonna work or not, and we'll see who's right. I'll check this in a few days, and we'll see if this hatched out. But until then, happy beekeeping.